Hey guys, Joe with BitRage. So we got a comment on one of our recent videos asking if we take a look at Liqui, the exchange, and I've got some personal experience with this exchange. I know how it works. I don't use it currently, but I have used it in the past, so I wanted to give you some of my thoughts about this exchange. So currently it's at about 8,500 Bitcoin 24-hour volume, and most of that is in the Tron markets. You see Tron, the Bitcoin Tron pair is at 3,000 Bitcoin 24-hour volume. So you want to keep that in mind and ask yourself, is there enough liquidity in this market in some of these pairs to make sense for your trading style? And we'll get into that in a minute. So this is the about page. It says here that the project is run by 7 individuals who are really inspired by the project. And then it says this down here: in the words of the CEO of Poloniex, trust has to be built. Which is interesting because they give you this picture of presumably the team members, but they don't tell you who these guys are. So it seemed to me, if you're trying to build trust, well then you'd outline the team members here. So people can take a look, they can see who they're working with. But they don't do that. They also have this lending interest platform, and they don't give you a whole lot of information about it. They tell you you could earn 0.066% per day, and they don't really tell you where that money's going to go. They don't even necessarily tell you where the money for interest is going to come from. You can kind of deduce from this statement here that it's going to come from profit from fees. But they don't tell you a whole lot of information about it, and if you're trying to invest in something that is supposed to return interest, you want to know as much about that as possible, and they don't give you a whole lot of information. Keep in mind though, if you're trying to earn 0.066% per day, you could do that just trading. Doing your research correctly, entering trades, that's not a very hard number to reach per day as a trader. So you could definitely do that, and if you had 300 Bitcoin, the available limit, you could make a lot more money just holding your Bitcoin than investing in this lending platform. So I don't see a whole lot of potential or even need for this lending platform. So I wanted to illustrate a point here about trading volume on Liqui. It's at about $95 million or about 8,500 Bitcoin. But if you look at some of these pairs, such as the Dash Ethereum pair, Dash is at about $757 on Liqui, and it's trading about 163,000 every 24 hours. That's not a whole lot for a $700 coin. If you look on Binance here, one of the leading exchanges, and you go down here and you find the Dash Ethereum pair, it's trading $1 million every 24 hours, and that's a lot bigger. So that's almost 10 times what Liqui is trading. So you have to keep that in mind. If you're trying to trade some of these pairs that are higher value and the volume is just not there, you're going to have some liquidity issues. So you want to keep that in mind and note that going into it. But probably more important than any of that is just the issues that people have had with this exchange. There are countless withdrawal issues. This guy here hasn't had his withdrawal processed for 6 days. No support, no response to tickets, nothing. This guy here, same thing. You just go down here, a ton of these issues. This guy here originally left a 5-star review and then dropped it down to 1 because his Bitcoin withdrawal is still processing. He has had no replies from the support staff, and when he tweets to them, they don't respond. So you look down through here, you just see a lot of withdrawal issues, and keep in mind that pretty much every exchange is going to have negative reviews on these kind of websites, but what you have to look at is the support team there? Is there a negative issue, and is the support team dealing with it? Because if there's a negative issue, those things happen. But if there's a negative issue and nobody's doing anything about it, there's no support team, well then that raises a red flag. So this is the Twitter account for Liqui, and they tweeted on January 4th and said, "We're aware of the connectivity issue and are working to resolve. All coins are safe." And then they tweeted that they added some markets, but they didn't tell you if this was fixed. So the assumption is that the connectivity issue is still being resolved a month later. The other issue I see with this is you just look at the people trying to contact them here on Twitter, and you see tons of people that have withdrawal issues, like this guy here. 38 days, they still haven't responded to his customer service ticket. You look down here, this guy here, 18 days, still haven't got a reply. They haven't replied to him on Twitter. This guy here has been 20 days, they haven't replied to him. 15 days, they haven't replied to this guy. And you just go down through here, and there's a ton. Here's another one, no reply. And I could not find one time somebody tweeted them and they answered. So that's important. When you want to invest in cryptocurrency, you want to be able to contact the support of the exchange you're using if you have an issue, especially with withdrawals. If they don't get deposits and withdrawals right, then you really can't trust them for anything else. So there are a lot of people claiming that Liqui is a scam, it's an exit scam, they're just stealing your money. I'm not going to say that because I just frankly don't know that to be the case. What I am going to tell you though is support is not there. You tweet them on Twitter, they're not going to respond, and apparently email is not a whole lot better. So if you're just dying to use this exchange and you have to use it, keep in mind that you're basically on your own as far as support goes. You probably aren't going to get a lot of response from them. So is it a bad exchange? It may not be. It may be that they just have so much volume coming through, the support staff can't keep up with support requests. That's possible, but you don't want to use an exchange that has these kind of issues with support, even if that is the case. So I would recommend you not use it and wait until they get these issues resolved, if they do. If they get these issues resolved, it could be a decent exchange for you to use, but at the current time, you probably don't want to use it. Anyways guys, that's going to do it for this video. I just wanted to bring you my thoughts on the Liqui exchange and give you some of the concerns that I've had with it. If you like this video, definitely give it a like. If you're not subscribed already, go ahead and do that. We got a lot of videos planned in the next month that you're not going to want to miss. Thanks for watching guys. Take care.